So we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about mental awareness, even for this month, or not even for this month, this whole year as well. I think it's really important to just shed some light on it, on mental awareness, especially for us judokas. We're always like so strong, and we want to be strong all the time. So let's talk about it. Yeah.
I think what we were discussing earlier is this concept that, we push through injuries, we push through, dehydration, cutting weight. There's all of this large amount of grit that comes with being a judo player on a consistent basis, and we sort of forget that our brain is a muscle and it has the capacity to be injured as well. Mm-hmm. And we push ourselves to these limits where we're having surgeries and we're doing different things to our body, and I think that kind of translates itself to mental health. You might not necessarily be ashamed of it, but in that culture lies this over perseverance, almost like we're almost too perseverant to a fault.
Yep.
And so you start drowning in those things, and you tell yourself, I can push through it the same way that you would have like a knee injury or whatever the case may be. But ultimately we have to take care of our mind the same way that we need to be taking care of our body.
Yeah. Sometimes as judokas, athletes, competitors, even hobbyists, sometimes we feel burnt out as well. We're always training, or maybe we just can't get this one technique down, and it's okay to step back and to reassess everything. Even if you have an injury, you could still come in and do judo, but it's always important to know who you are, meaning like know your limits. And sometimes, you could push yourself all you can, but there's times where you have to say, all right, Lakea, I have to kind of step back a little bit, heal yourself, because you're gonna keep on pushing yourself so much, you're gonna hurt yourself even more. It's important to talk about it to your coach and also to your teammates, So
it's not a weakness.
Yeah.
I think, the positive side of my generation was I did have teammates that I could talk to and say, this is how I feel. And I was constantly checking in with them, and I went out of my way because I had such a large amount of trust with them. Mm-hmm. I knew I could tell them, I'm obsessing about this, or I'm having a hard time with this. And when I was growing up, I had my own personal mental health struggles, but judo actually brought me into a really healthy place. And then I had my first concussion when I was about 13 at the Olympic Training Center.
Wow. And
I had no idea what was actually happening to me during that time. There wasn't really the safe sport, and they weren't as conscientious about concussions. And that kind of continued from age 13 to 17. I had subconcussions or subconcussive blows, different things that I couldn't identify. And so as a teenager, while I was training for the Olympics, I was severely suicidal. And if it wasn't for me talking to my parents about it, I had a close teammate, Amy Tong, that kind of kept me in a positive frame of mind on a regular basis. I really don't know what would have happened if I wasn't so lucky in the relationships and the people that I had in my life. But it's nothing to joke around with. And I truly believe that we have to kind of, even if somebody's struggling, we have to have the capacity to try to pull it out of them.
Yeah.
Because it can be scary. Your brain can go to really, really dark places. And the beautiful thing about judo is that we're a family, and we do have the capacity to help one another. It just has to be as open and forthcoming as possible that this is a reality of the type of sport that we do.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that you said that the relationships that you had within your circle really helped you. Mm-hmm. So talking to those people, to your friends or your teammates, helped you get through those suicidal thoughts?
My teammates, but I did have a mental health professional with me on a regular basis when I was going through all of that. I actually weekly, I would go after high school. I was training, and I would have to make a specific designated time to see my therapist and to check in. But I was also very open and honest with my family about things, and so for me, if you don't get that culture from your family, and you don't get it from your teammates, there's other avenues that you can approach for that assistance. But ultimately, I just think that to realize that it's not a weakness. I mean, if you break a bone in your body or you tear a ligament, you don't go, oh God, what a weakness. You might push through for a specific tournament, but you're going to get surgery on that broken bone, or it happens. So it has to be like more of an objective, realistic viewpoint on it. Yeah, it can get tough. That's for sure. I've been there. I've been to some dark places as an athlete, even as an adult.
I see. Yeah, it's difficult, and it's the people as well that you don't even think that they would have these suicidal thoughts as well.
That was me.
That was you?
Oh, I was a goofball. I try to be as funny as possible. I try to make everybody laugh because I didn't really understand a lot of social. My Asperger's didn't really allow me to understand as many social contexts as I probably should have been. As a neurotypical person, conscious of, but I didn't understand a lot of things that people were saying, or I didn't understand people's intent. So I just turned it into a joke on a regular basis because I wanted everybody to be happy, and I wanted to be around laughter to fill my soul, to make my soul feel a little bit better about the depression that was lingering behind me.
I see. Yeah, one of my good friends, I know nationally, who's well known, and even internationally, Jack Hatton, he passed away, and it was a really sad moment, and it really opened my mind and my heart to mental health awareness. And I was super close with him. We used to call him Captain America because he was like the leader of Team USA. And back in the day, like, he was always positive. So like, there was times where I would lose, and I would lose so like badly that I would just feel like, man, I just want to give up. But he was honestly one of the only persons, like, just to inspire me to not quit, to keep on pushing, and to do what I love. And sometimes, judo's a difficult sport, and getting thrown, paying for trips on your own dime, and making weight, all of this is a stress. And sometimes we just feel like we need to do this, and we need to go ahead and push ourselves. But he was that one person that just would always be positive, and he was always that one person that you could rely on, that he would cheer you up. And after he passed away, I kind of opened my eyes up to judo, that it's just more than going to Olympics.
Yeah, sure.
It's such a important role in life, with the people around you, with the people you travel with. You have this connection, with your
family.
teammates.
We really are family.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to rely on your family too. And I really believe that like that culture can rise again. I'm really sorry about your loss with that, man. I think a lot of times people misperceive, when you are overly positive like that, I think sometimes you're fishing for other people to reciprocate that to you. And people don't realize that because they're just like, wow, you're such a pillar, you're so strong. And I hear that from people that I work with or in other environments, but regardless, you really are sort of like, I want to give you joy. Mm-hmm. So, sometimes and I'm not saying that's like a red flag or anything, but it's a complicated, mental health is extremely complicated. So if anybody, like, if you have any negative thoughts or seek professional help. It's really, really crucial. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have my therapist, my one teammate that helped me through a lot of negative times, and my family. But I was lucky in that trifecta that I had with all of that. And not everybody's that lucky. We have to be there as family for one another.
We do. Yeah. I do believe that the people that you're with, that are close to you, are super important, because they could either bring you down or bring you up, and it's important to have a really positive circle around you. Yeah.
And again, like you said, people would say, oh, well, you can say that because you went to the Olympics, but ultimately that's not even my best memory from judo. That's not even the best thing that I got out of the sport. But regardless, I have relationships with people that have lasted sincerely since the age of 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
And it's not too many people have, the same friends from elementary school, but even then, it's a different type of bond, the type of things that you go through, and the type of experiences that you have, and the traveling that you do together. It creates memories that are completely irreplaceable. At the end of the day, as much things as we want in life, and we can't take those things with you when you die. You can take the good things that you do for other individuals and the memories that you have with your loved ones and the light that you kind of share with the rest of the world. So, there's a bigger picture. I 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah. Just like how you're saying, like family. When I was on the USA team going for the 2020 Olympics, it was really tough because we're trying to get the quota, meaning like we wanted to get paid monthly, and in order to get paid monthly, you have to be the top of US, whether you're male or female. And in order to do that, you have to go ahead and outbeat the other Americans by points. And we're not just competing in our own division, but we're competing within our own country in a sense, because we want to get that stipend, that financial stability. But like what you said, seeking help and having that support from everyone is really, really it's important.
I agree. And I think as athletes, I really, really believe in judo athletes, and I really believe we have such a great capacity to problem solve on the mat, and I think it's kind of silly that it doesn't translate itself outside of the mat. If that makes any sense. Like, we are genuinely, judo is, I hate to say a smart person sport, but there's a level of intelligence that comes with judo and it's human chess, Yeah. So if we can problem solve that much on the mat, we can do it together as a team and kind of lift each other up as much as we need to get to those points and make memories along the way and enjoy our lives and the spirit of judo. I think that if we keep forgetting that, then we're really missing out on the big picture. And most of the time, I had a teammate at the Olympics. He got 7th place, and no offense to him, he might know, but sometimes he was kind of lazy. But I asked him, I was like, how did you come out with a 7th place finish? That was amazing. He goes, yeah, I just decided to go out there and just like love judo and have fun and just be a passionate player. I was like, I didn't think about that. There's a level of seriousness that overcomes you, and I think that's when your brain kind of goes to that dark side and
that's true.
Omits that love and passion that we really do have for the sport.
I'll be honest with you guys, the people that are watching. Judo, when I was going for the 2020 Olympics, it was fun, but it was really dark because I did feel alone many times trying to go ahead and make the Olympics, because you have to go ahead. You're basically your own, like your own boss. Even though that you have a coach, if you get hurt, you don't want to be pushed to the side. You have to go ahead and push yourself, and sometimes like that's difficult, and you have to push yourself to train even when you don't want to train. You have to push yourself to compete when sometimes you just want to relax, and you have to push yourself when you have to lose weight, and sometimes you just want to eat that meal, that burger, or that pizza right there, or that Snicker bar. And I do remember this one time, I had this psychologist, and she told me the 2017 Worlds, she said, this was my first World Championships, and I was the youngest on the USA team. And
how old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
I think I was 18, 19 years old. Yeah.
That's even more pressure when you're that age.
Yeah.
The younger you are, the harder it is to kind of figure all that out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I never did that much cadet or junior tournaments internationally. They just kind of like threw me into the fire at the seniors, which I enjoyed it. But when I stepped into the arena the day before, I was like, wow. Cameras everywhere. The tatami was big, and it was just like,
your brain wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. And my psychologist saw my face, and she's like, let's talk. So she talked to me, and she said, no one cares about you. This is so important to me. No one cares about how you are gonna do today or tomorrow. Only your family and your friends. No one else. You're in a different country. No one cares about you. All you're gonna do is you're gonna have fun. That's all you're gonna do. Have fun. You're doing judo. Enjoy the moment, and just have fun. And she said it to me, and she told me to repeat it. And it was like that. What is it?
Oh, like the hypnosis.
Yeah, I was like, okay, have fun. And I came out there like doing I felt like I was dancing on the judo mats. Like I just enjoyed myself. I felt myself smiling.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And I did one of the best in the USA team. And I was like, I love this. This is me. I had no pressure at all. I came in and I won 3 matches, lost my 4th. And I was like, you know what? I'm here to have fun. And after that, I was getting interviewed, and the lady was asking, so people train all their lives for this. What was your mindset going in? And I was like, I was just here to have fun.
And it works.
And it works.
It worked for my teammate. When you have that large amount of pressure on your shoulders, it ruins the love. It ruins the passion.
It does. It does.
And I really hope that resonates like with as many athletes as possible, because you know there's the hard workers and there's the medalists that we have, but you don't have to always get there with that self-deprecating approach either. In my opinion.
That's true. Well, Lauren, thanks for coming in and sharing this with us. I really do appreciate it.
I appreciate you too and everything that you do for the sport.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.